Greetings. What's the most important skill you can have in the business world, right? Overall skill. And that is teamwork. And when you start to work on projects, what's the most important skill related to teamwork that you can have? It's collaboration. So those are very similar words, but they're different in different aspects. Hi, my name is Al Batinga. I'm with CCS Learning Academy. And what we wanted to do is give you a 10,000-foot view on what we're going to cover in teamwork and collaboration. So I'm going to show you an outline, and let's have a short discussion on it. So again, I'm Al Batinga, Deanna Mendeville, and myself. We co-teach classes, many classes for CCS Learning. And so we're talking about this specific one called teamwork and collaboration. So let's start. So what is teamwork? So in class, in our workshop, we discuss what is teamwork. Now you may say, isn't that an easy word? Well, ask yourself, out of all the organizations you've been with, how many of them really practiced teamwork? In other words, working together with a clear vision, mission, values, goals, objectives, and worked together at the highest levels. Now it brings into fruition a different picture, right? And so teamwork is actually hard to accomplish, where we're working together. Now, the next level up is the concept of collaboration. Now, collaboration is on a specific project. So inside the organization, whether you have 2 people or 2,000 people, you have a team, right? That overall team. Then you have the accounting team, and you have the marketing team, and you have the operational team, and you have the facilities teams, and a whole bunch of other teams, right, in different organizations. And then you have the concept of let's collaborate to achieve a goal and objective that the organization needs to continue to move forward effectively as well as efficiently. So collaboration is a little different, but it's similar. And we'll talk about that in our workshop. And then the next question is, why are teamwork and collaboration such an important skill for you as well as myself? We're going to answer the question, what's in it for me? That radio station is always blaring, right? We're always looking for, how do we justify this? How do we put our best foot forward? What's in it for me? What's in it for our organization? What's in it for my teammates? What can we do to further ourselves from a goals and objectives perspective? So we're going to talk about that, because in every single class you go to, it's important to answer the question, what's in it for me? What's in it for you? What's in it for us? What's in it for we as a team? And then what we want to do is we want to talk about traits and tools that we need to play at the highest teamwork level, the highest collaborative level. And so you may say, well, Al, what's an example of teamwork? Well, what's an example of a trait or a tool? Well, one of them is very simple. It's a mindset. And that is that the team is first, right? If you look at this from an overall perspective, when we have played at the highest levels, right? Think about your history in organizations, whether it's 1 or 20 organizations that you've had in the last few years, that we were subservient to the team. And it's a mindset that isn't a normal mindset. Usually we're thinking about what accomplishments can I do? What can I do? How can I further myself? How can I apply myself in whatever I'm doing? The team mindset, which is a big tool, a trait, is what can I do to further our cause? And it is clearly a mindset that you have to look at. Then you have tools, right? There are tools, they're reporting tools. Maybe for a particular group, it's a weekly meeting from a collaboration perspective to make sure we're very, very in tune with each other. How are we helping each other at the highest levels? And always, always, always think of it competitively. And what I mean by that is think of a sports team, right? Oh, that's easy to visualize. Most of us have either been on a sports team, support a sports team, and you know that when they're working together, they will exceed goals and objectives, right? From a team collaborative perspective. And so we need that concept to really understand and to play at the highest levels, right? And so the team meeting is important. And there are other tools and objectives that we're going to discuss in class that we talk about, that we discuss, that we play with, that we look at different angles for it. And then what stops us? What stops you and me from playing at a high team level? What stops you and me from collaborating at the highest levels, right? Let's discuss this. Let's talk about that so we can see the pitfalls, challenges, and anything that holds us back so we can identify them and eliminate them as we go along. And of course, the rest of the class, after we do the big definitions, is really about best practices for teamwork as well as collaboration. So what's a best practice? For collaboration, working on a project together, it's huge communication, right? Almost over communication. And what's the venue for that? Well, let's talk about it. What is the organization in? What's the place that you're in? What's the most effective? Is everybody spread out? Is everybody together? Is there hybrids, right? There are discussions there to have about the best practices for collaboration. How about from an individual perspective, right? What does an individual need to be a great team member and even a more fantastic collaborator, right? Those are phenomenally helpful questions to ask and answer throughout our workshop. So those are things we cover in this workshop. Let's talk about how we do it. So last thing I wanted to bring up is the fact is at the end of class, we need to plan moving forward. All right, how do we do this? It's a very interactive workshop. We're engaged, we're elaborating, we're questioning, we're answering, we're doing all kinds of things in class to make it much, much better than just showing a video or just showing the text or doing both, right? We do breakouts. So depending on the class size, we do breakouts, usually 3-4 people working on specific concepts, right? And we're gonna talk about breakouts for practice and reinforcement with the goal being internalization, right? We want this to be second nature for us. And so we plan to internalize and grow and move forward, right, as we go along. And how you do that is to put together a plan. So the last thing we do is to plan to internalize, plan to grow, plan to move forward, plan to continue. And so here's a couple of things for you from a CCS and Learning Academy perspective. We always support you. So whatever you have learned in class, we have a support system for you. You can email us and we will respond back to you, right? We also, for a organizational perspective, we do a 30-day webinar after that. In other words, 30 days after class, we do a 1-hour webinar to reinforce the material, answer any questions, and to delve deeper into some of the things that have happened. Here's the concept. When you leave class and you start going to apply it, that's really when the questions come up. That's when the challenges come up. And so what we want to do is 30 days after class is to address it. And so what you'll see now is from a training perspective, education training and coaching from a business perspective, we go above and beyond to ensure that you are good, that you have internalized the material, that you have full capacity, access to us as the trainers and the leaders of the organization to help and support you and your teams moving forward. Thank you so much for listening in. We hope you join us for our next teamwork and collaboration class.